It's time for another faction to be eliminated, but what comes after? The dawn of another two clans declaring war against the Takeda and Bruce. He rides to the nearest fief as fast as he can. How much slaughter can Bruce perpetuate? Hello and welcome back to Shokuho and the Dreams of Legend submod. We're going to be going in with 926 of our own troops and, well, it's not really our own troops, but more like allied troops, and we're going to see if we can eliminate the Satake clan in this episode. Obviously, probably going to happen pretty early on. If we can complete this siege in one fell swoop, which I think is probably pretty doable, we're not really going to have to wait that long. Ooh, now this is a pretty uncommon layout, or at least I feel like it's pretty uncommon. I don't know. I don't really see it that often. It doesn't feel to me like I see it that often at least, but yeah, what we're going to do is we're going to literally just wait here. I am just going to stand here very, very carefully, and we're just going to wait until our forces... I'm going to make sure that we utilize the AI's forces as much as we possibly can, because I don't know about you, but I'd prefer not to take significant damage before we actually have the ability to do any damage, right? Because, let's face it, doing damage requires us to remain alive. I know, it's a pretty interesting, unknowable concept that not really anyone knows, you know? Staying alive? I mean, really, come on now, the BGs knew it, we know it, come on, that's pretty much how we go, right? But anyway, the point is, we need to do some damage here. Otherwise, we're going to have a little bit more of a depletion than you would want. And you know what? Should I be audacious? You know, yeah. We're going to be audacious. Let's do this. I'm going to go up here. Did I just get shot through the ceiling? Did they just shoot me through the floor or something like that? Because it feels to me like I actually got shot from somewhere else. And thankfully we were maybe particularly quite far away. Maybe there was a gunner or something like that, because I'm pretty sure I got shot by a gun. That was a definite gunshot. And that's pretty dangerous. Let's hope that that doesn't happen again, because I'm much closer now. So very likely that they'll be able to do damage, maybe enough to kill us in one hit. Gotta be a little bit careful here. Okay, I'm just going to continue to try and do as much damage with overheads. I obviously already talked about the fact that overheads are actually pretty effective. You just got to be a little bit careful about when you use them, obviously, because in this situation right here, this is pretty much the only thing I can do to deal damage. There we go. Now we can actually do something. Let's get in. Let's get stuck in there. I'm going to try to clear the blockage. Technically, it is a blockage. And let's try to not get shot. There we go. Kill that guy. Kill that guy. Nice little... Oh, I was going to say, nice little jump and slash, but no, we actually missed. Interesting. Okay, certainly wasn't expecting that, thank you very much, but there we go. Anyway, we'll try and see if we can clear these guys out as well. Thankfully, they aren't really seeming to pay too much attention to me, which is exactly what we want. We are being shot in the back, which is very nice of them, isn't it? Yes, they were obviously just trying to massage us or something like that. That does probably seem to be the case. Let's try and do some damage here. I'm going to try and create terror as much as possible. I'm trying to activate that as much as I possibly can. Basically, any single time we can do that, that is something that I love doing. I kind of wish there were more perks than just the two that, you know, have something to do with depleting morale, because you have terror, and then you have another one. I think it's called something like, I don't know, Fearsome Commander or something. I don't know. It's not called Fearsome Commander, I know. But it's called something similar to that effect. Basically, you need to be in command of that particular formation of units. So in other words, you need to be the leader of the infantry, the leader of the archers, or the cavalry, or whatever. And those fellows killing things will impact the enemy's morale. That's the idea there. And obviously, if you're like me and you've taken Terra and you're using a two-handed, then Terra plus that particular perk that I just told you about, which I can't remember the name of, that thing is going to be crazy good. That's going to be a really, really nice combination. Let me see. Can I get some good stuff? Yeah. Not really. Not super good here. Ah, yeah, look at that. 15... very nice. 15 prisoners that we can potentially convert to our side. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to do that just yet, because we are pretty much filled up, aren't we? You know, we don't really have anything that I can spare there. And let's just actually have a look here. Yeah, so we have one more castle down there. That should be pretty easy. I think we should be absolutely fine. We just need to deal with this other castle here. And then, I mean, look at how simple that was. That was actually really nice and easy, nice and smooth. But that, I believe, was due to the layout. The layout was exceptionally fun. Ah, this guy's being a pain. Yeah, I don't know whether you noticed or whether that was when I was off screen, but this guy managed to get inside. Every single time I wanted to go to a castle, he was literally sneaking in there really carefully. Oh, 5 days worth. Okay, I am going to actually wait. I'm pretty sure that our allies will come over here and make things a little bit uncomfortable for me, but I'm kind of hoping that maybe they'll just wait just long enough, right? Just long enough for us to be able to starve out the garrison. Let's hope that is the case. Alright, so let's just convert a couple of prisoners here before we go in. And now look at what we have outside. We have Sukeharu. Yeah, okay, great. Yeah, I'm very good at that, aren't I? Yeah, anyway, we are going to go straight on in here and we're going to see what we can do. This is obviously going to be the second to last castle. Let's see if we can make it happen. The thing is, it very much depends on... okay, alright. The layout is looking pretty fun, actually. I quite like this layout as well. It is... actually, this might be really good because of the ladders. The ladder location over here is looking fantastic. Bear in mind, as you can see right here, we have Bruce in command of the infantry. If I actually have that perk, which I'm not entirely sure if I do, I don't think I do, because I think that's a leadership perk, probably. I don't know. Maybe it is. Yeah, I mean, there are so many perks, and wait a minute. Am I being shot? Are you seriously? I'm sorry, but that is not allowed, sir. There's 2 headshots. Yes. Can I get some more? I don't know. I'm not sure if it's actually worth me even doing this. Most of the time I would say probably not, because what's going to happen is I'm going to take random little bits of glancing damage here, and then we're going to be going in, and I've got 70% HP, and then I'm going to get shot in the face by a gun and die instantly. That's usually how things go here. Okay, let's try and see. Oh, what's actually going on here? Why is this guy standing up here? I need you to run, sir. I need you to run and get down on the floor. That's going to be a bit of a problem for him, isn't it? Okay, you know what? I'm going to go up here. Hello there, friends. Yes, goodbye. Goodbye. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. To see you. Nice. Yes, indeed. Okay, do you get that reference? Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, that's an old one as well. That's a very old one. Okay, well, whatever the case, murder is our game at the moment. Is our name... game? I don't know. Maybe it's our game, maybe it's our name. I'm not entirely sure. I mean, I know that Bruce is our name, but maybe you can spell it a different way. With a code name of some kind. I don't know. But whatever the case, it's not backwards. That's the point. It's not Red Rum, you know. It's not Red Rum or anything like that. Okay, well, this is actually going remarkably well so far. I'm actually kind of surprised. I'm not entirely sure what's even happening here right now, because we do seem to be completely murdering everything. I'm actually quite shocked. Hello there, friends. It is time for you to say goodbye. Yes, look at that. What a wonderful slash that was. Get back here, sir. It is time for your portrait. It is time for your headshot. Haha. You get it? Because photographers take headshots? Yeah. I know. Wait a minute. We need to be a little bit careful here. Nice little thrust. We like a nice little thrust from behind, don't we? Yes, we certainly do. Now, if I can just avoid taking a load in the face, then I'll be pretty happy with that. There doesn't seem to be anyone that's really capable of doing that right now, so I shouldn't have to worry too much. Nice little 360-degree slaughter happening upstairs there. And my forces do seem to be in a very adequate position right now. Okay, I'm going to be careful here. Okay, yeah, this is... yeah, it's a bit problematic. There we go. Nice, nice, nice. Okay, they're actually running away. That is pretty perfect. And, yeah, kill that guy. Nice. Okay, these guys are all going to start blocking, but that's all right. Just stay away from them. Basically, that has become my strategy now. The strategy is to pretty much just maintain a level of distance when enemies are doing that whole blocking thing. Because what they're going to do is they're going to block from multiple different angles, and it's going to be almost impossible for you to do any damage. So the theory behind the strategy, at least, is to not take any damage. I know, it's revolutionary, isn't it? Of course it isn't, no. But the point is, it's something that I need to kind of think about more actively, you see. And that's the reason why I'm saying it, because I want to keep it in my mind, you know? I want to make sure that I'm keeping these kinds of things at the forefront, trying to be like, yes, I do need to be careful about that kind of stuff. I don't want to get myself killed too ahead of time, if you know what I mean, you know? Because then we, you know, stop having fun. Because I actually really enjoy doing sieges like this. Sieges like this are really, really fun for me because, well, I mean, you know, I'm not dying immediately. And, well, contrary to popular belief, obviously, I don't always die instantly, right? I know in the original Shokuho series, I did have quite a bit of that happening, of course. Because they were gunners. They were gunners. And, you know, I just got really unlucky to literally come across the 1 or 2 gunners in that particular siege and then just get myself shot in the face. And that generally tended to happen quite often. And the amount of people that would be basically, well, let's just say being not so nice, you know, not so nice in the comments. But, you know, it happens. It happens, you know, that's the kind of thing that I'm talking about. Generally, it's just one of those things, you know. If you do actually get yourself killed and you die instantly multiple times due to the same thing, it's probably your fault, isn't it? I mean, in that case, it was probably my fault. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, the Satake clan have already been eliminated. Okay. Apparently, the other castle has now been taken, and I had no idea that that was the case. Okay, that's pretty amazing, if I do say so myself. And indeed, we are having a nice little autosave coming in here. Okay, let me actually just take... Yes, it was actually taken by... Yeah, this castle right here. It was taken by the Hojo clan. That is quite funny. All right. Okay, so that means that I don't actually need to deal with the final castle, which I'm actually really, really pleased about, because I certainly didn't want to. I really, really badly did not want to. And so let's take a look at our policies here, because well, not policies, but, you know, war declarations and so on. Let's have a look here. 1 town, 1 castle for the Ashina. So, yeah, I don't know where these guys are. What do they own? Kurokawa. Okay, where is that? Oh, right next to us. That's hilarious. That is actually very funny. Okay. We're going to go over there. We are, of course, going to go over there, and we're going to see... Oh, yeah, no, wait, there's a war... Oh, no. War Exhaustion's going to come in. That's absolutely fine. We're going to get a nice little payday there. Hopefully, maybe. Vote for the new owner. That will hopefully not be me. No, it isn't. Okay, that's good. And, yeah, these guys are all absolutely fine with us. We don't have to worry about that too much. And let's see what we can do with purchasing a little bit of food, because that's what we're going to do, of course. We're going to try to... Oh, we're declaring war on the NANBU. Oh, okay. What did they ever do? The guns have not done anything to us. If you understand the... Well, if you understand the wordplay there. It's a little bit of wordplay. It's a little bit of, you know, not really making sense, because that's not how you spell NABOO, of course, but I was making a joke. Yes, I know. Anyway, let's just go over and take a look at our food situation. Ooh, this particular town doesn't have any food. This is going to be extremely, extremely good for us. If we can make this work. If we can make this work, it's going to be great. Okay, let's just make sure we bankrupt them a little bit. And then we are going to be... we're probably going to try to, I don't know, call for a war declaration here as well. I personally feel like that's probably a good idea. What do you think? I think that's probably a pretty good idea. Alright, so once again, we're going to try to convert a couple of prisoners here, and then we're going to go over to the diplomacy screen. So where are the NANBU clan, actually? Because I'm not entirely sure if we're that close. Oh, wait a minute, what are we, Alright, I see. We're pretty close, actually. Well, I'm kind of surprised about this, to be honest. I would have expected them to be, well, further away. Yeah, well, I kind of want to attack the Ashina, though. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to call for the attack. Oh, 7%? Are you serious? 7%? Come on. Can I not? No. Oh, no. That is so sad. That is so sad. Oh, well, never mind. It looks as though we will not be able to make this happen, so we will instead have to do some damage against the NANBU clan. That's actually very... that's very disappointing, really. Because I was very much hoping that we'd be able to do something crazy fun by just pretty much just, I don't know, eliminating a really weakened opponent, especially considering the garrison. Did you see the garrison? They were pretty much like on their last legs. They only had about 28 people on their feet, and yeah, that was really nice in actual fact. But obviously now, no, of course, we're not going to have the ability to do that. So what we're going to do instead is we are literally just going to go for this. I am unsure whether I will build any Ozutsus. Come on, let's. Of course, we're going to build them. Of course, we're going to build them. These provide us with the biggest loads in the enemy's faces that we can ever find or see. Unless I don't know. I mean, unless you want to join the battlefield, then obviously that's a little bit different. That's a little bit different. Then we've got you know, everything's going to work out. Everything's going to work out real nice. But yeah. Anyway, the point is, battering rams up. Let's make sure that these things are built. I could technically starve them out. There's only 5 days left. Do I want to starve them out? I mean, there's 150. That's a pretty significant number. Okay, so, sue me, I guess. Yes, sue me. Because apparently we are now entering in the nighttime. I'm not a terribly big fan of fighting at night because I generally have very poor low-light vision. That is just a fact, and definitely something that I'm not a big fan of, but, you know, it's how it goes. It's how it goes, and in general, that also applies to games, unfortunately. And so as a result, it's going to be a little bit more difficult for me here. So we're going to see how we do, but this is also the reason why in certain mods, I don't know whether you've realized this, but in certain mods in the past, I've had playthroughs where I've gone into a battle at night, and it has been almost pitch black, and I've then thought to myself, and indeed said, oh dear, it's a nighttime battle. And you may be thinking, well, why does that matter? Well, that's the reason. Low light vision is terrible, so we're gonna unfortunately have to do that here. I'm gonna just stay behind all these wonderful friends here that we have, and then I'm gonna rush to the walls, and we're gonna see if we can get this nice gate down. There we go. Now we can go and say hello to my little friends right here. Or not, as the case may be, because apparently he's just blocking like an absolute beast. Not sure what's going on with that, but okay, alright. Did we actually starve all the garrison out, by the way? I actually don't know. Did I just forget that? Yes. Okay, nice. Good damage, actually. Surprising so. Very good. Yeah, there we are. Okay, that's a nice thrust. Very good. Okay, I'm actually seeing people. It's because there's good lighting. That's the thing. There's good lighting on this map. They've done a great job with that. I'm very, very pleased. Let me just see here. I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to do this, but the problem is the allied AI is a little bit slow when it comes to this particular map. I believe it's because they have to go a different direction beforehand. Wow, the amount of damage I can do to this gate is insane. Boom. Look at that. Okay, now I've got to be careful because there's a gunner. There we go. There's another gunner over here. There we go. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Okay, try to not take too much damage. And we need to be careful here because there will be gunners along the line, potentially. No, no more gunners. Okay, that's great. How did that guy survive? Oh, wait, this is a gunner. That's hilarious. I was like, oh, there's no more gunners. And then there was one right in front of me. That does tend to happen, actually. That happens way, way more than, well, we know what to do with. But yeah, whatever the case, I think we're probably going to be fine. I mean, if you take a look at the combat strength at the moment, we're looking reasonably good. And even if I do get shot and killed right now, at the very least, we have done a lot of the work for our forces. And as long as I just don't get killed by a gunner, that's it. I just want to make sure I don't die from a gunner because they do so much damage up front. It's really, really staggering. Nice. How did he know I was going to go for that? Very good. I was going to go for a thrust, and he was like, yes, I know. He knew. He knew I was going to go for that thrust. Yeah, it's not date night, but, you know. Oh, dearie me. Alright, so we'll see what we can do if I can just make sure I don't die in this last gate. I think this is... Is it the last gate, actually? I think this might be the second last gate. But look at how much damage we do. It's crazy. Look at that. Unfortunately, I am getting shot. Okay, there we go. No, 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 no. Don't die now. Don't die now. Yeah, we're going to have some issues because these guys are using the Yari. And they are very, very good at what they do because they obviously crush through blocks. They have piercing damage. You know, they basically do everything you want in a weapon. And I am being shot to death at the moment. Ow. Yeah, this is what happens, you see. Yes. I'm going to get out of here, actually. I'm going to get out of here so that I can actually do damage against the upcoming infantry. Yeah, this is a problem. Yep, this is a problem. Stay at range, stay at range, stay at range. That's all I need to do so that I can create terror. You know, that's what I... That's my main, you know, game plan here. Okay, now we're fine. My forces are literally lagging behind so dramatically. I'm actually... I don't even know what. Flabbergasted. Gobsmacked. Whatever other saying you would like to use. But yes, it's not exactly great. I'm gonna die here. Yep, definitely gonna die here. Oh, if I could have killed a couple more, that would have been really nice. But unfortunately, no such luck. Okay, so what has been happening with our friends here? They've been taking so long. Look at this. Look at how far away they are. It's insane. Wow. Okay. Well, we should be pretty easily done here. I mean, look, I've saved our forces so many casualties. It's not even funny. I mean, really. I killed 142 enemies by myself, basically by myself. I didn't have anyone around me at the time. And now hopefully my forces will be able to seal the deal because... Are you serious? Did you see that? Did you see that? That is absolutely unacceptable. This is just an unacceptable performance by our friends here, unfortunately. And it does... yeah, look at that. They did actually have some people in the garrison. I didn't wait. I didn't wait the entire duration for them to get starved out. Apparently I didn't. Okay, well that's quite funny. Anyway, our medicine skill is leveling up really very dramatically, so I gotta say, no complaints there. Alright, and there you go, we sent in our last troops right there, and now all we need to do is take a couple of people, and yeah, actually, wow, we lost a lot, didn't we? Yeah, we actually lost quite a few people in that siege. Not a big fan of that, but I mean, again, what can you do? You know, what can you do about it? You're just gonna have to take and absorb that kind of loss. And yeah, I mean, it has to be done, doesn't it? I mean, we have to make this kind of thing happen. Sometimes it's just necessary. Banner of Fearsome Violence. I will be taking that. Thank you very much. What about the Banner of Delicious Cupcakes? I wouldn't mind that. That would be quite nice. That would be a little bit more palatable than Fearsome Violence. But actually, I don't know. It depends. Depends on who you are, I suppose. Anyway. It looks as though we have a small siege going on over here. And I wouldn't mind doing a little bit of something. Yes, let's go over there and actually see what's going on. Maybe these guys are going to need a little bit of assistance in murder. Yes. Oh, wow. Yes. No, that's not going to work. That is not going to work. Okay. You know what I'm going to do? I actually think I'm going to go and attempt to tackle one of their towns. I think that's what I'm going to do. That is going to be my strategy. I'm going to strike at the very heart of the NANBU clan, and we're going to see whether we can pull it off. Obviously, this is going to be very dangerous. This is a very, very dangerous thing to do. Definitely something that you don't really want to do most of the time. You really do want to be very careful when dealing with this kind of situation. You know, you don't want to go super deep in enemy territory because it's going to be very hard to run away. We've had situations like that in this series before. Remember when we were basically cornered up against the map and it was extremely difficult? Basically, we couldn't get away. That was pretty much it. We couldn't get away from the situation we'd gotten ourselves in. We were cornered very effectively by the opponent, and it was pretty much impossible for us to get away. So we did what we could do, and that was fight. We fought as hard as we possibly could, and well, it didn't really result in anything much apart from some very, very nice experience. And that's pretty much it. 20% accuracy to fire arrows during siege bombardment, or Azutsu and naval cannons during siege bombardment. Do I care? What do I care about? What do I care about right here? Do I care about fire arrows or do I care about Azutsus? I think Azutsus are slightly better actually for the siege offense, the siege bombardment stuff. Even though for me personally, I don't think the siege mechanics in Shokuho are really anything to be concentrating on, really, because most of the time, what are you going to do? You're just going to destroy. You're not going to destroy the walls, that's for sure. You're definitely not going to destroy the walls, but you might be able to destroy the enemy's fire braziers, and in which case, that might be kind of useful, maybe to a certain degree. You know, to a certain degree, might be kind of cool. But most of the time, you don't really want to be doing that. Most of the time, you want to be constructing things so that you can take it in to the actual, siege itself. Manually. You want to be having your forces tackling that kind of thing manually. That's the deal. Because if you are doing that, then you have them to pretty much hopefully bombard the opponent when you're inside the map. And that definitely makes a big difference. At least I think so. I'm not sure if the arrow braziers really make a big difference, but the Azutsus are sometimes very effective, other times not so much. So it just very much depends, but, that's how it is with pretty much everything. Sometimes you're going to get much better results from, for example, one unit, some battle than you are, another one. So, sometimes it's just a matter of circumstances, a matter of, scenarios, stuff like that, really does make a big difference. Otherwise, I think I have actually eliminated all of the gunners. There were only 2 of them, I think. I could be wrong, so don't quote me on that if I do manage to get myself shot. Let me actually see if I can kill this guy. Nice. That was hilarious. Did you see that? That was absolutely amazing. I cannot believe that he actually fell for that. He blocked in completely the wrong direction. That was wonderful. Yeah, but that is indeed a victory for us. Look at how simple that was. That was extremely, extremely nice. And indeed, I believe that is it. There you go. Look at that. Look at how... Wow, look at how... Wow, what? That was so fast. Wow, okay. Very surprised. Okay, there's no call for further violence. There we go. I will let him go. I will let him go, because we might be able to persuade him to join us a little bit later on. That might be quite fun. Let's just take some of these guys. We could always use more samurai, of course. And then we'll just take what we can here. There we have it. Okay, so let's have a look. Whoa, they have over 1,000. Okay, and they have a really, really large amount of food. Yeah, this is going to be a problem. Yeah, this is going to be a problem, especially considering the Hojo clan have now actually declared war against us as well, which is pretty terrible. We do have this guy who is going over to somewhere. I'm actually not entirely sure where he's going. But yeah, the Hojo clan declaring war against us right now, not exactly great. As you can see, however, the Takeda clan is so extremely spread out, it's very, very difficult for us to defend everywhere now. So that's the problem. Anyway, that's going to be it for this episode. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.